compassionate eye. The riches of the Catholic Church have dazzled the world for centuries. Now it's a multi-billion-dollar empire rocked by financial scandal and controversy.
When it comes to money, this is one of the sloppiest organizations on earth.
We found that 85% of the diocese had experienced an embezzlement in recent years.
85% is absolutely systematic.
Why would they move such an enormous amount of money into a cemetery trust fund?
No bishop has been disciplined by the Holy See for mismanaging the sex abuse crisis and mismanaging the funds.
Pope Francis is cracking down, but can he clean up the Vatican's financial house?
My name is John Dickey. I am a historian. I'm undertaking an investigation into the heart of the Church's finances. In the last few years alone, a stream of scandals has rocked the Catholic Church to its core. A bishop in Germany spent over $40 million on renovating his diocesan residence. A Vatican bank president was placed under investigation. Even the former Pope's butler got in on the action and leaked papers that showed the church hierarchy fighting over money.
The financial scandals had revealed a church that was trying to protect itself, that felt under attack. A reformer such as Ratzinger had been so ostracized by the Curia and its internal conflicts that with his resignation, the church seemed to have lost all credibility and accountability with public opinion and could not recover it.
The need to put an end to the financial incompetence and wrongdoing was critical in bringing about the election of Pope Francis.
This was the most anti-establishment conclave of the last 100 years. They didn't want to repeal the teaching of Benedict XVI. What they wanted to repeal was the business management of the Vatican over the previous 8 years. They were sick to death of all of that, and they wanted to elect a reformer that they felt could ride into Rome and clean out the stables.
But the new Pope has his work cut out for him. Priests who dip into the Sunday collection, archbishops investing in a porn channel, a hidden real estate empire, accusations of money laundering and corruption, victims of sex abuse allegedly deprived of their compensation. Why is the Catholic Church plagued by financial scandal? Can the Church reconcile its money with its morals?
Avere di più, avere di più, avere di più. Ti porta all'idolatria. Ti distrugge il rapporto con gli altri.
When it comes to money, very little has caused the Catholic Church more headaches than the IOR, better known as the Vatican Bank. In June 2013, the arrest of a priest once more highlighted the flaws in this controversial institution. Ever since it was founded in 1942, the IOR has been used like an offshore bank right in the heart of Rome. This episode is only its latest brush with criminals and shady businessmen. The man at the center of the story is a priest, Nunzio Scarano, although here they knew him as Father 500 Euros. This is where Monsignor Scarano lives, Salerno, 50 kilometers south of Naples.
Scarano is called Father 500 Euros because he used to go around with 500 euro bills.
61-year-old Father 500 Euros is a former bank employee turned priest who worked in the Vatican administration. He loved hanging out with the rich and famous. In June 2013, he was arrested for trying to smuggle $25 million from Switzerland by private plane. In January 2014, Monsignor Scarano was charged again, this time for money laundering through his accounts at the Vatican Bank. How did the investigation start?
It all started with a theft reported by Father 500 Euros of some very valuable paintings that he kept in his house. One Chagall, the mould of a crucifix by Bernini, a loot worth around 6 million euros.
Yet Father 500 Euros was not from a wealthy family. And he only earned maybe 3,000 euros a month from his job as a Vatican bookkeeper. Investigators began to suspect that something wasn't right.
We have discovered that there is a series of shell companies. We call some of them ghosts because they are completely unknown. Others instead are based in offshore tax havens, so we have no legal means to track them down. We have discovered recurring transfers that can absolutely not be considered donations. They are disguised as donations. They amount to around 6.5 million euros.
Investigators went through Monsignor Scarano's accounts at the Vatican Bank. In one of them, entitled Fund for the Elderly, they discovered millions of euros in alleged donations flowing in and out over the course of a decade. But very little of this money seemed to make its way to the old people of Salerno.
Monsignor Scarano received a lot of money, millions of euros, from a family of shipping magnates, the D'Amicos. The D'Amicos, who are also from Salerno, have companies all over the world. Most of the money that was passed on to Scarano came from offshore businesses. It was funneled back into Italy through the IOR. That way, the money could be brought back to Italy or into the European banking system while disguising its origin.
In very simple terms, here's one way you could launder money through the Vatican Bank. First, find a friend who has the right to open an account there. Next, with your friend, create a charity, let's say a foundation for penniless historians. Then open an account at the bank and donate your money. Because these are donations, who's going to question your intentions? Now comes the clever bit. The Vatican Bank has umbrella accounts with high street banks for its customers in Italy and abroad. Have your money moved into one of those. Provided the correspondent bank does not ask too many questions about a wire from the Pope's bank, there will be no way to trace the origins of the money, which you can then transfer into your personal account. Hey presto, the money is clean. Next, you can spend or invest your money as you will. Allegedly, Father 500 Euros spent his on art and a luxury 17-room apartment.
One of the difficulties with the Vatican Bank is that it's a very different animal than a normal bank. I mean, in a normal bank, anybody walking on off the street who's got $10 can open an account. With the Vatican Bank, you've got to be a certain kind of entity. You've got to be a religious order, or you've got to be a diocese. You've got to have a right to have an account. Once you pass that scrutiny, then there's this kind of attitude in the Vatican Bank that now you're della familia, you're in the family. It's somehow inappropriate to be scrutinizing where you got your money or what the hell you're planning to do with it.
But all of this could soon be a thing of the past. Since 9/11, concerns about the financing of terrorism have made the fight against money laundering a worldwide priority. And Pope Francis has made it clear that decades of scandal have to come to an end. Following Scarano's arrest, the director of the Vatican Bank and his deputy left. So the Vatican Bank over there is on the road to reform. It was Benedict XVI who set change in motion in 2010. He passed the Vatican's first ever anti-money laundering law, created a financial watchdog, and before stepping down, named a new president at the Vatican Bank who started monitoring accounts. As a result, more than 100 suspicious transactions were identified in 2013, and a very special questionnaire was sent to all account holders. What the Vatican Bank wants to know is where the money comes from.
And this is not an easy sell. I mean, you know, there are some old-timers in the Vatican, up to and including some cardinals, who have been deeply offended that the bank wants to know where they got their money and what they're doing with it.
One of the shadowy areas is undoubtedly the religious foundations. They can be used to conceal flows of money that have nothing to do with their official aims. There can even be religious foundations that are completely fake.
But Pope Francis seems to mean business. He's appointed a new head of the financial watchdog and formed a commission to reform the Vatican's financial institutions. Oh, and he replaced all but one of the cardinals that sat on the board of the Vatican Bank.